The latest anti-cheat progress report, Team Ricochet is answering some of the biggest questions. Why do I still see cheats? What can we expect in Modern Warfare 2? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Do we get into the cheaters here? Team Ricochet, obviously the anti-cheat that they implemented with Caldera's launch. Of course, not right at the launch. It's been a little while. Now it's out. I have seen a lot less actual hackers in the games. I've done a lot less Hacked or Cracked episodes on my channel. But that being said, it does still happen as well. Team Ricochet is a cross-functional group composed of security, games, and service engineers, researchers, data scientists, and more, each working in collaboration alongside game teams. Since Ricochet anti-cheat launched last year, we've seen both significant drop in cheaters invading our game as well as some unfortunate increases. As expected, ebbs and flows. That is frustrating reality of security. Here's the thing with this, too, though, that I got to point out with it, is that there's also way less people playing the game. And if there's way less people playing the game, there's way less people that are going to be interested in wanting cheats, which is going to go overall decrease the market for cheaters. So there's going to be less people creating cheats in the first place. I don't know. Maybe there's definitely stuff that's been done for the anti-cheat, right? Like, I'm not denying that. But I think there's also an element of that, and I'm curious if we got to the same level of where we were at. Say Modern Warfare 2 launches, we get an insane influx of players, and like, I think the cycle's just going to repeat. I'm hoping not, and I would love for them to prove me wrong off of it. But I mean, I still play this game pretty much every single day, and I could tell you, and I read comments on it, I stream it every day. Like, there's a lot less people that are playing this game than what there was back when this was peak and everybody wanted cheats for it and they were pumping this stuff out. Of course, they probably weren't ready for the cheaters to come in as well. Clearly, you know, they weren't set up for it. They didn't even have Team Ricochet and all this stuff even implemented in the first place. But, you know, that just, it makes me a little worried, I guess, is my point. This week, we want to focus on a few big questions and comments we've seen from the community details. Okay, so maybe we'll get some insight right here off of it. Maybe they'll address that concern. Why do I still encounter cheaters? AntiCheat Solutions work like antivirus software. Let's assume that today we know all the nefarious ways cheaters try to impact the game to ruin your experience. Our team uses that knowledge to protect against that bad behavior and to punish bad actors. While our team has been able to establish systems that can quickly detect and respond to bad behavior, we know tomorrow we'll continue to deliver new and evolving threats. And this is what I even mean by it, is like, if there's more people that are trying to innovate and create ways to create cheats, because it's more profitable and there's more people playing and there's more, you know, it would probably be a lot harder to keep up with it in the first place. As we take steps to ensure our systems can identify and react to no or bad behavior, we fully expect cheat makers to continue to devise new nefarious plans. Some we can anticipate and some that we need to develop new systems against. So they're addressing it right here. What we're getting better at is speed at which we can recognize when players are doing things they shouldn't be doing. This is critical. When a bad actor is detected, we hit them with something from our mitigation toolbox or all of them all at once if we're feeling spicy. Damn, dude. Let's go. Feel spicy on them, man. Cook their ass and analyze the data from the machine determined to be cheating. This is one of the many ways we can understand new bad behaviors and work to protect our game. Day to day, that's what we do. We continually strengthen our systems as we're capturing new data, dissecting it, and implementing additional changes. Simply put, we're always working to combat cheating. This is good. It's got to be the responsiveness and the speed of what they're doing. Like, that to me is the key. And because there is always going to be new cheaters coming in. It's like, how much are they actually working to deter new cheaters from coming in, though, right? Like, that I think is the key with it. And so, I mean, to me, them addressing it off the top there, that sounds good, and it gives me more hope for what could come off in the future. What's up with these mitigations? Why are you doing it? Mitigations and it's actually a good question, because why not just ban them if they're cheating? Mitigations were birthed from from the wizards of our server-side security team, which is part of the group that's responsible for Team Ricochet. It started with a comment like, wouldn't it be funny if, and then the team worked tirelessly to develop our new mitigation systems. We feel mitigation is a necessary step for anti-cheat security. The question for Team Ricochet quickly became, how do we keep detected cheaters in-game to fully analyze their tactics and strengthen our security while at the same time make their experience less impactful to legitimate players? Wow, that is actually, I feel like that's pretty smart. They keep them in the game so that they can then analyze it and hopefully find other people, because there's a lot of people that probably don't blatantly cheat as well. They just kind of fly under the radar using a couple things here and there to help them. The solution: let's do more to get in the way of cheaters. Cheaters, for some reason, feel superior using softwares to win games they have no business winning. Hitting them with mitigation transforms those euphoric feelings of being fake best into glorious pangs of annoyance. We've seen the clips. Hey, I've posted a couple clips of people cheating on me. It feels good. It feels good when somebody's full auto beaming your ass thinking they got you, and sure enough, they're doing no damage to you. It is good. I will say it does feel good. Damage shield. This has been a fan favorite in the community. It's what I was just talking about. Since we announced it, because it registers for both players. If you're being shot at and you see your health slowly trickle down, you know it's likely a cheater on the other end of the battle. Exactly. The cheater, in turn, wastes ammo and eventually realizes they've been detected. Most of the clips we shared are of the damage shield, since it's something both players can identify. 100%. A problem: cheaters are using in-game weapons to eliminate legitimate players quickly and effortlessly. Response: enhance player protections, but still register some damage to proc the visual cues so affected players can identify where those shots are coming from and take care of business themselves. That's felt really good. The cloaking one, on the other hand, I haven't actually noticed this yet. I saw one clip so far of a cheater getting cloaking activated, but that's because they posted it and they said, yeah, I cheat, and they posted it. But most people probably never actually see this. We don't see the other side of the actual equation here. It's your own personal ghost mode. We see fewer clips of this because it's harder for legitimate players to know it's happening. 100%. If a cheater is hit with cloaking, their shots cause in-game players to vanish, including their bullets and sounds. So you don't make a sound to the cheater. You are completely invisible to the cheater. So if you're ever hit in-game and turn to see something spinning in circles confused, they might have been slapped with cloaking. That makes it easy for them to clean up. Problem: cheaters can see all players in the world, including through geometry, providing them unfair information to win battles. Of course, they're talking about wall hacks, what we call it. People can see other people through walls, through everything. Response: protect players by hiding them from a cheater's POV, making it impossible for cheaters to track them regardless of the proximity. Disarm. Now, I haven't seen this yet. Today, we're sharing another mitigation technique from our toolbox. This is the new anti-cheat that Call of Duty's just come out with. Or they came out with but a new version of the mitigation tools, rather than just banning them, letting us troll them a little bit by, disarming them in this case. Like the name implies, when a cheater is detected, we simply take their weapon away from them, including their fists, so they can't even punch. We don't expect many clips of this to find their way online, but we have seen it in action, and the reactions from cheaters are always priceless. Well, show us. I want to see the reaction. What do you... Give us a clip, Call of Duty. You're going to hold this out on? You're going to hold down some premium content? Give it to me. Call of Duty, listen, just send me the clips. I'll react to it, okay? I'll watch it. I'll show it to everybody. We'll laugh at it. We'll have a good time. It'll raise more awareness. It'll deter more cheaters. It's a win-win-win-win, okay? That would be fun. Okay? Put cheaters in timeout. Because you wouldn't really be able... I guess you could tell if it happened in person. And if you guys get any clips of this, tag me on it. Or if you see any, tag me on it. I would love to see this. But if you're they're shooting you, and then their guns disappear, and they can't even melee, and they just got to run away. I feel like I would love that. I'm okay with that. I mean, heck yeah. Matches with mitigation and matches with cheater reports. Interesting. So this is something I've been requesting a lot too, is like, let's see some of the actual data. Even like, let's see the data on how many people are playing Rebirth versus Caldera, and like, because we can speculate on all this stuff, or even like hit reg, right? Anti-cheat, skill-based hit reg, and some of these things that like, it would be interesting. Skill-based matchmaking. How are you matching people up with the overall averages? What's the lobby? Is it a silver, diamond, platinum lobby? Wood lobby, like many of you guys are in, right? Since launching our mitigation earlier this year, we've kept a close eye out on player reports. But you see, obviously, we don't even have an X and Y axis on this, on what these actual numbers are, because it's just the actual ratios. But who knows? Like, This doesn't give us much information here, but, you know, at least it's a chart, I guess. So what? Matches with cheater reports is going down a little bit. Overall, I would say the trend is down. Matches with mitigation is, you know, it's got... Let's see. The aim for mitigation is to keep cheaters in-game to analyze their data while reducing their ability to impact legitimate players' experience. The data above shows that as mitigations are active, we see a reduction in cheater reports. Boom. Okay, I see. So it's the inverse relationship of as matches with mitigation go up, I see matches with cheater reports go down. There you go. So they just got to crank this up a little bit higher. Either because players are swept up in ban waves or their bad behavior isn't getting in the way of your legitimate fun because we're interrupting their nefarious ways. This is a subject to the same ebb and flow mentioned earlier. As cheaters change tactics, we see a slight spike up. According to this data, over time, our mitigation system and other anti-cheat initiatives quickly come back on and track the focus of the experience, which, yeah, maybe that's what this is to what I was saying earlier. Like, I think overall the trend is going down. But again, could be because there's also less people playing it too. We have other mitigation that will likely spill the beans on in the future. Some are active now. Some are in development. Beyond its mission to combat further unfair play, we have a second, somewhat secret mission to annoy as many cheaters as we can. And this is actually kind of good, right? Like, oh, why don't you just ban all the cheaters? It's a free game. They can just make another account for free, right? It's almost like if you can keep them tortured for long enough, then maybe they just give up. Maybe they don't even realize it. They just have a terrible time. Maybe they don't even realize that this is happening to them. For example, Shadowban throwing them in with a whole bunch of other cheaters to where everybody's all cheating in the same lobby, and now they're just having a bad experience. They don't even realize what's going on. And then they give up and just stop playing the game altogether and go on and do something else with their life. Like, that's the ultimate, is to just get them to completely give up, because to that point, people are just going to keep coming up with new ways to do this, right? So maybe this is the best solution. Obviously, I don't know that much. I just play the game, but if this is what they're figuring out, that's very interesting. While mitigation is certainly the most eye-catching element of Ricochet, those processes are support the biggest detriment of cheating bans. True. I mean, that's the biggest detriment. It is, you know, what's really annoying is making the new account. But what's even more annoying is that if they have more authentication when you make your account, which does suck, though, I will say, when you've got to do more things to actually create an account in the first place. And I don't even know how difficult it is to create a new account in the game in the first place. Team Ricochet issues a ban daily for several reasons, and often in large waves. Since our previous update, we have issued another 180,000 bans across Warzone and Vanguard combined. What can I do to help make the experience better? Individually, the first thing you could do is first thing you should do is protect your account. As we continually knock out illicit account market, cheaters are looking for fresh IDs to sneak back into the game with. Yeah, I have heard of this as well. Turning on two-factor authentication will help you authenticate, because that's the thing. Even rather than making new accounts, they'll take other people's hacked accounts. So people will get hacked, and then they'll get a good, valid account. Hey, this account's been around for 5 years. This guy's been playing other video games. He's been playing World of Warcraft, man. This one's a legit account. And then sure enough, it's just somebody who hacked the account, has taken it over, and now is going to hack on it and then go ahead and get themselves banned. I've seen this happen many times. Secondly, but no less important, are the in-game reporting tools. We've beat this drum a lot, and it's because it's critical for our continued success. This is, they say this in every single post. Report people. It actually does help. Your in-game reports help identify cheating trends and behaviors. And see, that's the thing. Even though, I've heard that you get a thing that pops up saying, hey, this guy actually got banned. I guess maybe I don't really report that many people, to be fair. But, yeah, if you get somebody banned, I guess you get a notification or something off it. I don't think maybe I've gotten one of those over my time playing the game. But that deters me a lot from doing it, because I'm like, does this really do anything? But, you know, if it ever happens, I do make sure to click the report button if I ever see a cheater. So, or, you know, like something that's legitimate enough if we do a hacked or cracked. It's important, and it helps make systems better. Keep doing it. Question, what can we expect from Team Ricochet when Call of Duty Warzone 2 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 comes out? The all-new Warzone 2.0 launches. They've been hyping this up a lot. Let's see what they have to say. Including its PC kernel-level driver, will be active on day 1 for both of the games. That's good. I mean, that's more than what we had for the previous game. That's what they have implemented now into the game. This is possible because of our foundation Team Ricochet has developed and iterated on since its first launch, as well as shows collaboration with our game's team. That's really cool, man. I mean, they got to develop this stuff at some point. So if they're developing it in Warzone now, they've got it fully run out. PC kernel level drivers. They've got some, like when this first came out, I remember, I don't know if it was because of the anti-cheat, but Discord overlay stopped working. Like it's been super laggy, super broken. Talking with friends has been super annoying, but that now works. Like they've been making more improvements. So if they already have all the information to set this up and they build the stuff from the ground up with all of that in mind, it makes it a lot better than trying to band-aid back on what has already been developed on in the first place. Ricochet anti-cheat continues to get smarter and better as time progresses. Will you encounter cheaters? Sadly, perhaps yes, but we are working endlessly to be faster and get better at them, getting them out of our game, which I think it's probably the best thing that you could probably do, is to get better and faster at it. Counter-Strike has a system where they counter cheaters by having higher ranked players who know the game go in and you anonymously watch gameplay and you can determine, is this something? Of course, you would need systems in order to watch gameplay back and everything off the first place, and even in order to have that, and they don't have a lot of those features. Yeah, it's the Overwatch system, and that's been something it brings the community into it, but, you know, even provide rewards, provide cosmetics, provide stuff for the cash shop. I don't know if Counter-Strike does any of that, like they give you keys for doing that stuff in the first place, but how cool would that be if you could be somebody who's like, all right, I've got 1,000 hours in the game, I've got this many wins, I could be on the Overwatch team, review some gameplay. If I review it, VAC ban off it. Yeah, you could review it. You could get COD points for it. You could get some skins or whatever for reviewing. Whether you find the cheater or not, you just review the gameplay. Now this guy looks legit to me. Now this guy looks like he's hacking. Either way, you build up some, like, that would be sick, dude. Like, how cool would that be to help? Because you can't keep up with all this stuff forever. You got to get faster and better, to your point exactly right here. But it's like, okay, how are you going to keep doing that as we do it? We'll see. I don't know, but this is just some of the stuff that I've seen other games do, and I've seen positive things around. So selfishly, we can't wait to see how damage shields, cloaking, disarm, and other tricks look in modern setting. So there it is. A lot updated on the hacking side. This has been probably, I don't know, I think this is one of the biggest issues that Verdansk faced, and was one of the biggest criticisms that the game had, even in its heyday, was the amount of cheaters in the game. And I think it's a big reason a lot of people quit the game in the first place, let alone talking about Caldera, the Cold War, the setting of Vanguard, all the other things that have happened and everything in this. I think hacking has been like one of the core issues to the game. And it's so I'm seeing the same thing even in Lost Ark with the bots and everything over there, right? In these free-to-play games, this is a massive issue, because you could just make a new account for free and continue to make a worse experience for legitimate players. So, yeah, I think it's good that they're focusing on it. They make an entire, this is a long-ass post about it. A lot of questions answered off of it, and, I hope the results speak for themselves as we continue to play it. There it is.